to start doing something, okay? I am going to stop responding so often to people on Twitter. I'm just going to be real with you. I don't think it does any good. When I initially would respond to basically anybody that disagree, I had the assumption that it was in good faith. Most people, it's not in good faith. Even if you explain exactly why you did the thing that you did or said the thing that you said, and it makes reasonable sense, and you give them actual statistics, I think that they just fear of being wrong online and it being so public or whatever, and they don't want to run because that'll look worse. But the entire time they had an ulterior motive, all right? Ulterior motive. They didn't actually want to engage with what you were saying. So with that being said, I'm going to show this on the screen. Well, you can already see it. You see it on the screen. You might have some questions. I'm going to explain it here, at least what my mindset is going into this. And then we can discuss it a little bit, me in the chat. And, you know, this will be a segment on the channel. So anybody that's in the comments, please let me know how you feel about it. And I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. Okay. So before we do, all right, I haven't really looked at anybody but like a couple comments, and I only responded to one, and it was like move Collins to E and it's good. Which, you know, that's not bad faith. I don't think that's bad faith. And I think he's just fed up with Collins. That's fine, whatever. But I just said, hey, he can't even be traded anyway, right? So, well, let's see. So, yeah, some people aren't getting it. B is hilarious. Everyone in B needs to go to D. Okay, not really understanding what I'm saying. This person, wait, Barlow is the only right place, but Keldon Johnson is explore. What? Yeah, so he's very confused. He's like, what's going on here? Let's see. It looked like someone responded. This is someone I probably wouldn't respond to because I don't know if it's good faith or not. Let's see. Nathan says Barlow is 20, still develop. Okay, we probably need to look at this list first before we go into this, okay? Because it looks like he's about to explain it pretty well. All right, trade tier list. All right, S tier. What does that mean? What does that mean, Clan? What does it mean if someone's an S tier? Well, that means there's no exceptions. You do not trade this player. Obviously, Wembanyama. There's nothing that can go on the table where I say, yes, please, I'll give you Wembanyama. There's nothing. No, he could potentially be the greatest player of all time. No, you don't do that. A, Sohan and Fasel. So what does that mean? That means borderline untouchable. I just think with their age, with Fasel's production, mind you, and his potential as far as how creative he is offensively, how his defense has looked pretty doggone good in this month, mind you. I won't go as far as to say Fasel is a true two-way, but he definitely isn't a liability on defense by any means, okay? And then Sohan, there's a lot of potential still there. Even if his floor is what I think it will be, which is a Draymond Green type role, I think that's good enough to say borderline untouchable. We still have to wait and see. He's only 20, doing a phenomenal job at what he's doing. Now let's go to B. So this is where it gets a little like questionable. So I put Jones, Wesley, Sissoko, Barlow. And the reason I put Wesley, Sissoko, and Barlow in there and specifically, and what does that mean? Only the right price. So you got to give me something really, really good, you know, for me to do that. And it's because Barlow he has a lot of potential. Okay. It's not a matter of saying Barlow is better than Collins. All right. I'm not going that far. It's not to say right now Sissoko's better than McDermott. It's all contextual. So I think Barlow is a very high potential player. Right now, he's not playing his role or his true position so he's playing a center right now, and that's kind of beating him up a little bit. But even then, he kind of held his own, and we've seen so many flashes of, whoa, you know, he can shoot the three ball. He has a nice mid-range game. I could see him in the Wemby era. I would just hold my brakes and say, you got to give me something good, okay? Because this is a high potential player, potentially. And I do have a soft spot in my heart for Barlow because he was going into the second round, and it's publicly known that he purposely didn't go to another team. He was supposed to be drafted in the second round. He wanted to come to San Antonio. So I think he could potentially be special. We just have to wait and see. At the very least, he'll be a really good backup to Sohan. So really good player. And if we have to go small ball, he's a perfect guy to throw in there. All right, Sissoko. He might be locked down. City Sissoko might be locked down. He has a lot of potential. I'm sure teams know it. I think he already has a pretty good connection with Wemby. I'm going to hold my brakes on that one. All right. You got to give me something good, because this is one of our high potential players that I would like to see us keep for the future. I mean, he is really good. His passing ability is really up there. Defense is really great. He has to develop a better shot. The biggest issue with him previously for me was his foul trouble. Like he had a hard time not being handsy, but he's decreased that tremendously, substantially. Even so, he's becoming a better and better defender. So he's one where it's like, I'm gonna pump the brakes. This isn't somebody I just want to throw out there yet. Okay, there's a lot of potential, and in this new area rebuild, because that's what this trade is about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, the rebuild. I want to keep him around no matter what, or not matter what, but you got to give me the right price. Wesley, I don't think I have to explain that. I think fans are starting to see the amount of potential that he has, not only with his speed, but his defense, his lateral movement, his basketball IQ has increased from his first year to now. He's not losing the ball as often as he did prior. He takes just the right amount of risks, okay? Because he's going to be risky at times. He takes just the right amount of risk, and it usually pays off. It pays off way more often than it did his first year. Huge growth from him. So it's just a lot of potential with Wesley. If everything can come together, he might be pretty scary. Barlow's super mid. Barlow's good. It's just a lot of potential there. It's not something where I'm saying, like I said, this is B tier. It's not me saying that it's off the table. It's just, I'm gonna sell him. You're gonna have to sell me a little bit. You got to sell me a little bit. Anyways, Trey Jones. The reason why he's in B tier and not A tier, because I think that will be the real question. I don't think many people will say, why isn't he in C or D or whatever? The reason why I would keep Jones in B tier is only because I think that overall, the Spurs could potentially be okay if they just went and got, some type of defensive wing or 3-and-D player, or just anybody that can kind of help us out on the perimeter, and just have Jones, keep him in there, let him be the point guard for maybe another year even, and then you can go and get a point guard in 2025 if you like. If the Spurs just have one pick early in the lottery, I might not go for a point guard. I might actually wait. You guys know I'm huge on Modest Buzelis. I know that there's so many different other players that you guys like as well, which I don't disagree with you, mind you. Most of these I don't disagree with. The only person I've disagreed with is Topic. I won't get into that right now, but I'm not crazy about Topic. But overall, I think the Spurs could potentially just get them another, defensive wing, and it seems like something we've been missing ever since the departure of Kawhi, if we're being honest. So yeah, something we need, somebody that's a stopper. And yeah, so if we're looking for that, Jones is going to be you got to give me something good, right? All right, so C tier is open to it. So I put Collins in open to it because I think that there's enough to his game where I can justify keeping him around. And I don't necessarily think that you get that much trade value out of him. Like I said, everything's contextual. So with Collins, it's like, I just don't know if we get, if we were to trade Collins. I'm open to hearing things. That's just me. I think that he has really great passing ability. He's probably one of the more, well, Wemby's probably the most, but he's probably one of the more versatile passers on our team. And I'm saying even with like Jones, that might be a crazy thing to say, but I think Collins' passing ability is up there with Jones at times. It's really impressive. Defensively, he hasn't been the best. The month of January, he's only played 5 games, but God, it's been awful. But he has, well, no, he doesn't have any time to fix that. I mean, I don't even know if he'll play the next game. But yeah, the month of January was pretty bad for him, but he didn't play the full month, not even half the month. So it is what it is, whatever. But yeah, so Collins is one where I'm open to it. Just don't really know what we'll get out of it, Now, this is where we go in D and E. So this doesn't necessarily mean that these players are more or less talented than the others. So with Branham, I'm not giving up. This isn't me like giving up on Branham. So D, I didn't even say this. D is explore. So it just means like explore what's out there, explore their value, kind of see what you could get. But I feel like with Branham and Johnson, they're two players that I think Branham is going to have a very successful career in the NBA. I think Johnson, regardless of where he goes, Keldon, regardless of where he goes, he'll do a fine job. It's just that with this team right now, it just doesn't fit. And I don't know how long the growing pains are going to last if we kept them right now. Because Branham, he's one where his game is more so predicated on the pick and roll. He's the primary ball handler, and he needs a team that will open up his mid-range game. Doesn't necessarily have that right now, right? And then with Blake Wesley playing even better, I don't know. And I think Branham's trade value ideally would be pretty decent. Because he was supposed to be a lottery pick. Teams have not forgot about that. The fact that he failed to us, everyone was calling that a steal. So he's one where there's a lot of hidden potential there. And if he goes to a team and they can actually utilize them, in which they have defenders and they have shooters, and he can come out there off the bench and lead the second unit, a team could really benefit from having a Branham. He's going to be one of those players that if he is traded, Spurs fans are going to do the thing that they always do, and they're going to say, hey, he's better somewhere else. Wow, we really failed this player. We could have had Branham, not contextualizing the fact that he's just not fitting with what we got right now. And I don't know if he's going to have to go to a catch and shoot role. I'm not happy with that. Like, what's the point? Because that's not the player he is. And it's going to be a while before we can even develop a team in which we could use Branham in that way. And like I said, with Jones playing well at the point guard spot, with Wesley coming alive, I just don't really know. And Branham is definitely a player down at the defensive end. You're not getting much, okay? Offensively, if that's going, then you got a reason to keep him on the court. But his defense is just pretty doggone bad. Let's just be real. And then Johnson. So Keldon Johnson, kind of the same issue, right? He doesn't have defenders around him. We don't really have a lot of shooters. And then even if we have shooters out there with him, he kind of has a lot of tunnel vision. And just with this team, I just don't know what we could do. But the most important thing about Keldon and why I would put him in D tier is because his contract is so good. The Spurs did it on purpose to make sure that he would be tradable. Because either way, you can either keep him and you can add pieces, or you can trade him, right? He's a easy tradable piece. And I think that he's, out of everyone on the team, where it's a nice balance where you can get something out of him. And then at the same time, he's not really gelling or fitting with the team. He can put up points here and there. He can have these stretches where he looks amazing and he's getting so many points in bunches. But overall, just what I've seen this season, we're kind of coming to that point where I'm just like, yeah, I can kind of see him just going, and that's fine. If the Spurs don't do it, that's cool. But once again, just explore what's out there. I think that's cool. And then I put E tier, do it. Okay, do it. In Palpatine, okay? Palpatine's voice. Yeah, McDermott, Mamu, Graham, Osman, Champagny. I just think you should do it. You should get Champagny's probably going to be off this team. I'll be honest with you. If not, he'll be an end of the bench type player. But if you can get something out of it, do it. No matter if it's a second rounder, if you can get a couple second rounders, that would be a steal. Just do it. Do it. Osman, same thing. Don't necessarily think he fits at all. I don't think we're getting much utility. I know he had a good game, and some people were like, well, Osman had a good game this game. That doesn't change my opinion. I'm basing this off of the entire season. Yeah. But I don't think he was supposed to stay with the Spurs for long anyways. Graham, we're not using him. If another team can take him, do it. Mamu, same thing. Not really utilize him. When he has played, his defense has been pretty bad. I think there is a reason why Bassie was getting minutes over him at this point. So yeah, I'm cool with it. Hey, Emperor Palpatine, what do you do with gum? Chew it. McDermott, Doug McDermott. Yeah, that's another one where it's you can send him off to a competitor and do your thing. Now, anybody that we trade, like I said, I think that you need to go ahead, and it'll be cool to get a vet point guard. That would be nice. But I think most importantly, just get you some type of defensive wing and you're good to go. So hopefully I explained this well, where you understood what I'm saying. It's not saying Wesley is a better player than Keldon Johnson. Defensively he is, but I wouldn't go as far as to say Wesley is a better basketball player right now as Keldon Johnson, or Sissoko is better than Keldon and Branham, or Barlow's better than Keldon. That's not what this. The point is, I don't necessarily know if he fits. I truly don't think he fits. It's not that I don't think he fits. But it's just everything mixed in where you could get some good value out of him. Then it can maybe address the need. Like Swish said earlier, it's addition. No, it's addition by subtraction, right? So that's basically what that would be. You get rid of them, but at the same time, in the long haul, it might benefit the team. So that's my list. And like I said, I'm going to stop replying to every single person because sometimes they're bad faith. So let's see. This is the one we were going to look at. All right. So he said, wait, Barlow is... Yeah. Barlow is 20, still developing, and is taking Colin's spot, but is a net zero on the salary cap. Whereas Keldon is 25, gets 20 million, and is inconsistent, but he played well enough to have good trade value. Keldon probably won't get much better, but he may have a better fit on another team. That's exactly what I was explaining. And this is exactly why I'm not going to be responding to just anybody. This is why. They're bad faith. All of them. You give your point and they just instantly react. It's just, that's your point. He's not 25. He's 24. Wow. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And also saying, will he improve? Will he not? Because I don't feel like I have to defend this, but just to be real, let's see. I probably should have went a basketball reference, but it's okay. Yeah. Haven't really improved. Crap, why is this doing this? Yeah, hasn't really improved. 3 different teams, different situations, kind of the same result, right? I mean, statistically, you can at least see it. Since 2 years ago, 3-point percentage has decreased tremendously. Which is, maybe he just kind of came back down to earth because this is the same he was averaging around his second year in the league. You can see that his season 2 years ago is literally identical to what it is right now. He's averaging the same amount of points, a little less, but same amount of points just about. Slightly more turnovers, steals the same, blocks about the same. Assists, he's averaging 1 extra assist. Rebounds, about the same. Free throw percentage, about the same. 3-point percentage, worse, much worse. Field goal percentage, down 1 percentage, but about the same. Averaging the same amount of attempts. Minutes, went down 1 less minute. Yeah, it's like the same. He's been the same player for a few years now. And I think that with his playing style, it just hurts the team at times, and it kind of puts up a block or a brick wall in which we might have momentum going, and he'll go right into a contest, or it's just empty possessions oftentimes when he has the ball in his hands, especially a team that can defend the paint. It's always bad, and then at that point he's just out there. And with how much he's getting paid, which I do think he's worth that money. It's a good contract, and I think another team that, like I said, playoff caliber, championship caliber team that has the pieces to defend, that has a good foundation, that can have shooters, and he's out there, and maybe he's not playing for 30 minutes in a game. I think he'll play a really good significant role with those teams. So just with the Spurs in this rebuilding phase, don't really think it's worth it. So, anyways. Clan, stop. You're gonna summon Angry Ruru again. I'm just being real. I mean, it's true. It's true. I'm not there's not some hidden agenda or some hidden vendetta I have against any player, really. All right, there's no hidden vendetta. I mean, Tony Parker, let's be honest. I mean, personality wise, like as a person, he was pretty something, right? But hey, his play style, it worked with the team, quite unselfish on the court. I mean, he was stupidly talented. I think people forget that at one point in his career, Tony Parker was a superstar. Like, he was that good. I mean, at one point in his career, he was better than Chris Paul. So, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I thought he was better than Chris Paul. But, you know, so it kind of, you know, it kind of outweighs it. You know, I won't have just some personal vendetta just because I don't like you as a person. But that's not the case with Keldon, by the way. I do like Keldon as a person. Just don't like his play style with the team. Oh, yeah, except Zaza. Big agendas with him. Exactly. Big agendas against Zaza. Zaza could be in the league and average 30, and I'll still call him trash. I'm just gonna do that. That's the only one. I don't even do it with Draymond, really. Keldon has value with his voice and leadership. Exactly. He's a phenomenal leader, I think. He's a great locker room guy, you know. Devin is so inconsistent, though. I don't know. I don't think you're addressing what I said. Let's see. He was never a superstar or better than CP3. We won't get into that. I'm not gonna like argue. Like that's not one of my takes that I would like die on a hill for, you know. I don't really care. That's what I believe. I think at one point in his career he was better than Chris Paul. If you want to say totality, I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, I truly do believe Tony Parker at some point was a superstar. I remember when we kept getting the J Kid rumors, so that proves TP pretty good. That is why it's difficult to think we should trade. No, that's not. Okay. Sorry. Just trying to see if there was anything else. I like the Thunder's template. Follow. Okay. Good stuff.